情啊，真是跌出了新高度了啊！眼下螃蟹价格彻底绷不住了。
Recently, crab prices have dropped sharply and the market continues to decline. Usually, after the holiday season, prices would gradually rebound. But this year, the opposite is happening. In recent days, a large number of crabs have hit the market, causing severe sales stagnation in major production areas. According to the latest reports from wholesale markets since the sharp price drop on October 18th, crab prices have continued to fall. This period is usually a time of harvest and profit, but now, with prices so low, many farmers are worried, unsure whether they should keep harvesting or temporarily stop.
更是难上加难了，现在都纠结到底该继续是下笼捕捞还是先暂停呢？
October is usually the peak season for hairy crab sales, but this year things are completely different. The industry, long seen as a symbol of autumn's flavor, is now facing an unprecedented crisis.
朋友们啊，这今天大闸蟹的行情
Today, the hairy crab market remains volatile, with prices fluctuating sharply. According to the latest purchase prices from production areas, female crabs weighing 2.5 tails are selling for only $4.49 per gin, while 3-tail male crabs are under $2.81 per gin, nearly 30% lower than before the National Day holiday. However, top-quality female crabs weighing more than 3.5 tails have instead risen to $16.85 per gin. That said, such premium crabs are rare, and most farmers are raising average-quality crabs, leaving their overall profits low. The leading cause of the situation is clear. Output has increased, but returns have fallen. This year, national crab production has surged, and key regions such as Xinhua and Yangcheng Lake are facing oversupply. As a result, sales have slowed dramatically, and buyers are pushing down prices. Meanwhile, due to earlier high temperatures and high-density farming, many crabs have less roe and poorer quality, weakening consumer desire to buy again. Combined with reduced overall spending and lower demand for non-essential goods, sales have dropped significantly.
非必要的开支啊，它都省了，销量呢是肉眼可见的。
A crab vendor shared that in previous years he could sell over 1,000 crabs a day, but this year he managed only about 20 in an entire morning. The once bustling hairy crab markets have lost their usual excitement. In the past, during the Mid-Autumn Festival and National Day periods, trading hubs around Yangcheng Lake, Gucheng Lake, and Taihu Lake would be crowded as early as 3 or 4 in the morning. Bright lights, loud voices, and constant trading. But this year, things look entirely different. A video taken at a Suzhou crab market shows an empty scene. Stalls lined with crabs, yet no customers in sight, even though it's already 8 or 9 in the morning.
有没有苏州本地人说说？
A netizen filmed the scene at Suzhou's largest hairy crab trading market and said he was pretty surprised. In his memory, this place used to be bustling, full of noise and excitement, with people weighing baskets of crabs and shouting out prices as they sold. But now, the entire market feels deserted, with hardly anyone around. He said he even hesitated at the entrance, unsure whether to go in, seeing only several SF Express couriers moving in and out, seemingly ready to ship crabs at any moment. So why have hairy crab prices plummeted this year? Online users have offered a variety of explanations.
为什么今年的大闸蟹没有往年那么火爆了呢？
The reason hairy crabs aren't as popular this year isn't just due to external factors like the slowing economy or weakened consumer spending power. The deeper issue lies within the industry itself. Like crayfish, hairy crabs are not necessities of life. They are luxury or discretionary items. People don't buy them to fill their stomachs, but rather for social gift-giving or festive occasions. For example, some use hairy crabs as business gifts, others buy them for family gatherings during holidays to create a sense of ceremony, or to enjoy their seasonal flavor. Because these purchases are not tied to basic needs, the industry has often neglected long-term quality and value. Since consumers are less price-sensitive when buying such products, many sellers tend to chase short-term profits rather than build lasting trust. The blogger points out that in recent years there has been a misalignment in the consumption of hairy crabs. Those who buy them and those who eat them are often very different people. Many people purchase hairy crabs not for personal consumption, but as gifts or for social occasions. This has gradually turned hairy crabs into a social symbol. When the market is dominated by people who actually eat crabs rather than people who buy crabs as gifts, the industry's focus shifts from quality and taste to packaging design, marketing rhetoric, and profit margins. Driven by profits, some platforms and merchants have begun to engage in excessive competition. To seize market share and sales volume, they constantly lower costs, ignore the crab's growth cycle and water quality, and use inferior crabs to impersonate Yangchang Lake hairy crabs, then rely on exaggerated advertising and exquisite gift packaging to attract customers. In the long run, the overall reputation and quality of hairy crabs have been severely affected. Many consumers who have repeatedly bought substandard products have begun to lose trust in the market as a whole. Some bloggers have also pointed out that crab farmers, to get their crabs to market early, harvest and sell them before they are fully fattened, hoping to recoup their costs as quickly as possible. However, such crabs have less plump meat, thinner roe, and may even have a bitter taste. Consumers who spend money on these crabs only to find them of poor quality naturally form a negative impression of the brand and the entire industry.
为啥这2年不火了？其实跟市场竞争。
The sales of hairy crabs have declined in the past 2 years, mainly due to increased market competition. In the past, crabs were relatively rare when in season, but now various seafood supplies are plentiful, including king crabs and Australian lobsters, making them readily available. Furthermore, improved logistics have allowed other seafood products to siphon off hairy crab consumers. Another reason is the change in consumer attitudes. People are now more rational in their spending, focusing more on practical needs even as living standards improve. For many, crabs are no longer a special food, but simply one of many choices.
是提高了，但是呢，面临的选择也多了。
Information is now very transparent. Consumers can easily check the authenticity, origin, and quality comparison of crabs online. Many people who have bought a poor quality product once will not repurchase it again. In addition, the deteriorating economic environment, with many facing pressure from mortgages, car loans, and tuition fees, naturally leads to reduced spending on non-essential items. Hairy crabs, being a high-priced but low-value commodity, have been significantly affected. In recent years, hairy crabs have been almost a standard choice for Mid-Autumn Festival gifts. Companies gave them to clients, and relatives and friends exchanged them. A crab gift card represented courtesy and prestige, but now more and more people are becoming more frugal. Miss Wang, a white-collar worker in Shanghai, said her monthly mortgage payment is $702, while her salary has decreased by $140 this year. She stated that non-essential items such as hairy crabs must be cut. In previous years, she would give clients 10 crab gift cards, but this year she hasn't given any. The decrease in gift-giving demand has also directly impacted corporate procurement. A purchasing manager at a company in Hangzhou said that the company has cut its employee benefits budget. Previously, they would order hundreds of hairy crab gift boxes, but now they've switched to fruit cards or shopping vouchers. This reflects a significant shift in consumption habits. Ms. Zhang, a resident of Qingdao, said, "Why spend $28 on 2 large hairy crabs when you can buy 3 jin of swimming crabs for $14? They taste almost the same." This sentiment reflects a decline in the perception of hairy crabs as a high-end product. Meanwhile, crab farmers are also facing difficulties. A crab farmer in Xinhua, Jiangsu province, revealed that he deliberately reduced the number of crab seedlings he released by 30% this year, focusing more on water quality management to attract the market with higher quality crabs. Not only have the prices of hairy crabs fallen, but the prices of other seafood have also dropped significantly. Previously, high-priced swimming crabs, shrimp, and whelks have all seen substantial declines in wholesale prices. One blogger stated that this year's market is the most sluggish in nearly 10 years. Swimming crabs used to cost over $10 per jin, but now the wholesale price is as low as 56 cents per jin.
天哪，你敢信啊？桌子蟹卖出了白菜价。
The price of swimming crabs has dropped significantly this year. Fresh swimming crabs wholesaled at the docks in the early morning were priced at only 2 yuan per jin. According to Xinhua News Agency, in August, $11 could buy 2 swimming crabs, but now $11 can buy 10. Fishermen say that this year's swimming crab harvest is exceptionally abundant. The crabs caught are so plentiful that they can't even fill a whole basket. Wholesale markets are bustling in the early morning, with some vendors selling entire baskets of crabs for $28, and even at dawn, some leftovers are being discarded. While consumers can buy plump male crabs and female crabs with abundant roe at low prices, the fisheries department predicts that more fishing boats will soon return to port, further increasing market supply and potentially driving prices down again. Hoarding crabs carries a significant risk, and prices may continue to decline in the short term.
错过了双11的折扣，明天起床可能又要再降5块了。
Reports also indicate that with the end of the Mid-Autumn Festival and National Day holidays, The prices of various seafood at the Qingdao Chenyang seafood market have dropped significantly. Swimming crab prices have fallen from $22 per gin before the holidays to the current $10 to $14 per gin, making it one of the categories with the most significant price reductions. According to distributor Zhou Jian, wild bass sold for $5 per gin before the holiday, but has now dropped to about $3 per gin. A shrimp farmer expressed his extreme anxiety about the current market situation. Shrimp prices have plummeted, sales are extremely low, and almost no one is buying. He'll sell to anyone willing to pay, regardless of price, but even then he can't sell anything. This situation not only prevents him from recovering his costs, but also prevents him from recouping his investments in crab seedlings. An industry insider pointed out that the current price crash in shrimp is not without reason. This year, shrimp prices are very low, with live shrimp costing about $3 per pound and crayfish less than $1.40 per pound. Even so, sales remain low, troubling both vendors and fishermen. There are two main reasons. First, most shrimp on the market are farmed, with short farming cycles and high density, resulting in generally lower meat quality but higher yields, which leads to fierce price competition. Second, some shrimp undergo processing that adds large amounts of water and chemical additives, about 200 grams per kilogram of shrimp meat, resulting in low quality and making consumers hesitant to buy. The blogger stated that official testing shows serious food safety issues still exist with shrimp meat currently on the market. Tests revealed a 145% increase in phosphate levels, meaning that 1 pound of shrimp meat may contain as much as 20 grams of phosphate. Long-term excessive phosphate intake can harm health, including hair loss, heart problems, and even bone diseases. In addition, the drugs and antibiotics used in farmed shrimp far exceed the amount that the human body can safely tolerate. Some shrimp farmers even avoid eating their own products, and some have resorted to using banned substances that are explicitly prohibited on the market. Chemicals like malachite green, which was once widely used, have been renamed to aquaberry green or green mycin to evade regulation. However, these chemical residues cannot be removed entirely even through cooking or heating. Consuming such shrimp poses clear health risks. In mild cases, it may cause discomfort, and in severe cases, it can lead to vomiting or diarrhea. In short, some farm shrimp on the market are no longer safe, and consumers should exercise great caution. Industry insiders also noted that even with extreme frozen shrimp inventories, prices have not improved. Many had expected the surplus of frozen shrimp to drive prices down, but in reality, some varieties have dropped by as little as 28 cents per pound, while others have plunged by as much as $4.21 per pound. A blogger explained that many people assumed shrimp prices would naturally rise after the cold killed large numbers of them, reducing supply. However, that's not the case this year. During September and October, shrimp sales were already struggling, and market demand remained weak due to the overall economic environment. Even when the shrimp weren't killed by the cold and ponds were still full of stock, prices stayed low. Therefore, expectations for a price rebound should not be too high. This year's market performance has been poor, and things may only get worse. The sharp drop in seafood prices has left many vendors complaining of heavy losses, and some markets are showing clear signs of stagnation and decline. At a seafood market in Suzhou, Jiangsu Province, one stall owner helplessly said that in previous years, by 3 a.m., the market entrance would already be packed with wholesalers, with rows of car headlights lighting up the street and so much noise that no one could sleep. But this year is completely different. Even by 8 a.m., no one shows up. The stalls are deserted and piles of crabs sit there unsold, with no buyers in sight. A novice in the seafood business also shared his experience. This year's business is extremely tough. I can feel it personally. Lao Li, a veteran seafood trader at the Binhai Aquatic Market, has been in the industry for 15 years. 2 nights ago, he called me and said, "Awin, you're new to this. Be careful this year." He believes this may be the worst year he has ever experienced. Over the phone, he sighed deeply as someone who has weathered all kinds of market ups and downs. Even he feels caught off guard by this year's situation. Before the Mid-Autumn Festival, he stocked up on 15,000 jin of wild yellow croaker, expecting them to sell quickly. But 2 days before the festival, 5,000 jin were still sitting unsold in cold storage, a heavy loss. The main reason, he said, is that consumers are short on cash. The budget for mid-autumn gifts has dropped across the board, and people no longer exchange gifts with anyone but close friends or family. Although social media may make businesses look lively, actual sales are extremely weak, something only business owners truly understand.
冷暖自知啊。
It's clear that whether it's hairy crabs, swimming crabs, or other seafood, the market this year faces unprecedented challenges. Prices have plummeted, supply has outstripped demand, and product quality varies widely. Combined with declining consumer spending power and rising economic pressure, the entire industry has fallen into a slump. From farmers to wholesalers to consumers, every link in the chain is under stress. This isn't just a price issue, it reflects deeper structural problems in the industry and a shift in consumer behavior and mindset. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.